up a new company here, right?
No, that's not.
All right, welcome to our improvisation class, last class.
Oh, okay.
I know you all are tearing up inside, but we'll try to make it exciting, and this is fun material. And it's a good chance to wrap up some of the physicality presentation stuff we've done, and to think about how we can use communication in our business environment, which is what we've done the whole quarter, but this is just hits you right in the face with how can we use this creative stuff in a different type of environment. So let's go ahead and get started with our improvisation materials. I've got some lecture type discussion. We'll make sure we're on the same page of what we can get out of improv and how we can use it in a business environment. Then we'll do some group exercises, and then we'll do some more exciting improv exercises. And we won't be here the whole time. We'll try to finish up a little bit early and wrap up. So let's start with a couple of basic definitions, make sure we're on the same page. Improvisation. What is improvisation? Let's see if we can get an answer to that. What are we doing today? What is improvisation? Vanessa.
I would say impromptu reactions to different scenarios.
Okay, impromptu reactions to different scenarios. And specifically when we do it in a theatrical type of setting, we're just going to impromptu. We're going to make up these little funny scenes. And we'll talk about how we can do that in a minute. But the next question I want to ask is why are we doing that? Why are we in a business class going to study this impromptu acting style?
To train yourself to think on your feet.
Yeah, right? We need flexibility, spontaneity. That's important in a business environment, right? You don't want to be the person who just doesn't get the new system, who can't change, who can't adapt quickly to a new environment. Good. What else?
It's important for negotiations.
Yes. Think on your feet,
Yeah.
negotiations. Yeah, yes, yeah, absolutely. What else?
Interviewing.
Interviewing?
Because you never
Sure.
know what question they might ask you.
Okay, good, yeah. This is all maybe falling under the spontaneity, flexibility. Are there some other things? Jim?
I think having a sense of humor could help.
A sense of humor? Okay. Yeah, fantastic. Especially if you have a sense of humor about the material, about the thing that you're talking about, or the subject matter rather. Yeah, so you can think creatively about that subject matter. Good. Other ideas? Just feel free to look on the slides and maybe give your thought on that stuff. I think I've got the second one. We've already talked about spontaneity and flexibility. How about this listening and teamwork skills? What do you think about that? You'll find that in these improv scenes, you need to listen very carefully to your scene partners. You can't do a whole scene by yourself. You'll be talking and be like, I don't know what comes next. All right, I hope my partner has something to say. Now, your partner may not have a clear, obvious idea, or it's immediately apparent to you how valuable that is, but still you want to listen to it. You want to respond to whatever they say, and you want to take that scene somewhere. And you'll see some examples of that, where if you don't listen to your partner, the scene just gets confusing and stops or slows down. But if you do listen to your partner, then it goes into an interesting direction, and we get to see a dynamic interplay between you and the other performers, and it's fun for us, and it goes somewhere you didn't expect. Same thing can be true in a business environment. If you're sitting in a meeting, and someone says something, and it's not immediately obvious to you that that's valuable, and you say, I don't want to listen to it, or no, or just zone it out, then the conversation stops. But if you listen, if you expand on their idea, you give it a chance, sometimes you can find that that's a useful idea that you might end up implementing, might end up having some very important business value. So listening.
So you're saying listening is part of improv?
Yeah. So just like I mentioned with the improv scenes, that you can't do the scene by yourself. So your partner is going to have an idea, hopefully. And if you say, I don't like that idea, I'm not going to listen to it, then you're just going to end up doing the scene by yourself and you're going to run out of things to say. But if you listen to an idea that wasn't obviously, that didn't have an obvious importance to you when you first heard it, then it could go somewhere interesting. And again, same thing in a business environment. You don't want to shut down ideas. You want to find a space where you can listen to them. Go somewhere with it. All right. Creativity, problem-solving skills. Sure, creativity just means thinking of something new. Thinking of a new way to solve a problem. Think outside the box. Important in a business environment. Your managers, co-workers, they're going to like that quality in you if you bring it to the business world. And in improv, some of the exercises are designed to be a little complicated and or throw you off your game. And it's fun for the audience to watch you struggle with these complex ideas for a minute, and they're waiting to see how is this person going to creatively solve this problem. All right, we said, we gave him X, we gave him Y, how is he going to make this a good story? So that's the challenge creativity-wise in an improv scene, and you still want to bring that same type of same type of creativity and problem-solving skills to a business environment. And then lastly, it's just a good chance to practice some public speaking stuff. Get over your fear of being out there in front of people and being silly. So that's why we're doing it. It has become fairly popular in the business world these days. So I'll try to bring some of the good stuff that relates to business and the fun stuff in improv to this next hour and a half or so. So next question, how do we do improv? I have you come up and do a scene. How are you going to make up those lines? How is it going to come to you? Does anyone have any ideas on how that's going to happen? Does anyone think that's not going to happen? You're not going to be able to think of anything to say? I guess we'll start with either of those questions. Is anyone afraid you're not going to have anything to say? You're not going to know how to do an improv scene? Maybe a little bit? All right. Well, let me tell you, I think as we sit here right now, you have all the skills you need to be a great improv performer. And the two things I think you need, one, a very vivid imagination, and two, a good understanding of storytelling techniques. And I will tell you, not just because I know you from the last 8 weeks, but because everyone has it, you have a very vivid imagination right now. You just may not use it very often. Secondly, you have a very profound understanding of storytelling techniques. You just may not have thought about it, you may not realize it. So let's look at each of those one at a time. First, very vivid imagination. Let me give you a couple of examples, maybe you can give me some examples. Have any of you ever daydreamed about winning the lottery? All right, when you think about winning the lottery, what do you think about? What sort of story happens in your mind? Bria.
I'll become rich.
You become rich, all right? You think about what you're going to do with that money?
Not really, not at that moment.
Okay.
You'll probably think about it after you have the money.
Okay, does anyone think about what they're going to do with the money before they get rich? All right, what do you think about, Levy? What goes through your mind when I tell you you're going to be a billionaire tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going to buy this private island,
Yes?
and then I'm going to have exotic animals on there.
Yes? Yes.
Elephants,
All right.
lions,
Okay.
giraffe. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I think the exciting thing about a lottery is you can think about all the things you're going to buy, think about what you're going to do tomorrow, when you call in, tell your boss you quit. This whole story can happen in your head very, very quickly. And it's just a matter of, in terms of improv, letting that story flow, letting those ideas come to you, and fitting them into this scene. Let me give you another example where you may have used your imagination. You don't have to answer this, just think about it in your head. Have any of you ever been out on a blind date? If you have, maybe you've concocted a whole story in your head prior to that experience, thinking of all the terrible things that might happen. Or maybe on the other hand, you're thinking of all the great things that might happen with this date. The nervousness, the anxiety, maybe brings that sense of, gosh, I can think of all these different possibilities. You create a whole novel in your head, truly, just by having that idea. Can anyone think of another example? Another time they might use their vivid imagination to remind, so we can remind ourselves how creative we are? Priya?
When you're going for an interview and you don't know what the interviewer, how is it going to be, and what kind of questions you may get, what kind of end result you will have.
Yes, okay, so imagining yourself in your next step in your career, that may come to your mind. Imagining all the things the interviewer could ask you. And sometimes the interview is often not as bad as you think it's going to be. You get asked very easy questions, simple questions, but you're like, my mind was just wandering about all these things that could have happened. So another great example. So, vivid imagination, you've got it. It's just a matter of bringing it to these exercises. The next thing I told you you all had was a very profound understanding of storytelling techniques. Over your lives, you've seen hundreds, perhaps thousands of stories, heard thousands of stories, seen many movies, read books, heard these anecdotes. You have an understanding of what makes a good story. And when you walk out of a movie and you really liked it, you probably have some ideas. Like, I really loved that character. I love the way the suspense was created. Similarly, if you didn't like that movie or didn't like reading that book, you understand why. You say, that character just wasn't believable. The plot wasn't consistent. The suspense didn't teach me anything. So with your vivid imagination and your profound understanding of storytelling techniques, you can create a story on the spot. And you can create a story that you have an idea of, and you can qualify, you can critique in terms of whether or not it's a good story. Does that make sense? So, let me move on to a couple of techniques we can use to draw that out of you. There are 3 techniques I want to go over. And that's going to be essentially all I think you need to start the improv exercises. Offer, accept, build story. First one, offer. Does anyone know what offer? Was that in maybe the reading material I asked you to read? Does someone know what it is? All right, offer means you suggest ideas. So if I'm standing up here with a scene partner, and I need to start the scene, I'm going to throw out an idea. I'm going to say, hey, sure is nice out at the beach here, isn't it? That's an idea. We're at the beach, it's nice out. Now we can begin some sort of dialogue about that. Offer. It could be anything. I could say, gosh, those sharks look scary over there, don't they? I've thrown out an offer. We're facing some sharks. We're in a potentially scary environment. Offer. That's the first thing. Essential to starting the scene. The second thing is accept. So when I suggest to my scene partner that it's really nice to be out at this beach, my scene partner is going to accept that offer and say, yeah, it's great to be out on the beach, and it's also, fun to be away from that crazy professor. And I'm glad we got a chance to get out of business school and come to the beach. My partner's going to accept the fact that we're at a beach. My partner is not going to say, what are you talking about? We're not at a beach. We're in a cave. And then it becomes an argument about what our reality is, which can be fun for a minute, but it's not going to create the kind of scenes that we want. It's not going to create the kind of dynamic interplay that we want for improvisation. So accept. You want to accept the offers that are made and build on that, drive the scene forward. Those 2 things make sense? Okay, the last is build story. I mentioned earlier you all have a profound understanding of storytelling techniques. Let me remind you of a couple of things that you already know. Or 2 things. One, stories have continuity and stories have consistency. So we don't start at the beach and then all of a sudden we're on the moon looking at the stars in a spaceship without an explanation of how we got there. There's got to be a continuity. You need to explain the steps to your audience. If you were watching that story, you would say that's not a good story because I didn't understand how they got from point A to point B. So you want to give that continuity to your audience, and you want to make sure the steps make sense. The other thing is consistency. You may have walked out of a movie saying, the characters weren't really consistent. They kept changing who they were. They forgot about the introduction point. They forgot about that crazy, that crazy whatever thing that they discussed in the beginning and they didn't come back to it, they weren't consistent. So, if I've established that I'm someone who is terrified of sharks, I'm not going to all of a sudden start loving sharks without explaining why. So, two things you already know about stories: continuity and consistency. Does that make sense? All right. So I think you've got the tools you need to start some improv stuff. You've got a great imagination, you're understanding storytelling techniques, you know 3 basic building blocks of improv: make offers, accept those offers, and build the story as you know how. So we're going to start with a couple of exercises we've done before. I'm going to ask you to think about how those relate to the improv stuff we've just discussed. So let's, everyone come up and let's get back in our circle from whenever it was the last time we did it. Alright, this will be a good warm-up and a good chance to think about some improv stuff. We're going to do a couple rounds of zip, zap, zoom. Does everyone remember how that works?
Yeah.
I'll do a quick explanation. You do the zip, pass the energy around. Anyone at any point can reverse direction by saying zap. And if you get zapped, you have to go back to zip in the other direction. Or you could go to zoom, because anyone at any point can zoom across the circle as long as the person is not right next to you. Now, before we begin this, let me ask you, what of those 3 things I mentioned, offer, accept, build, story, which of those 3 are being incorporated into this exercise?
I think offer and accept.
Offer and accept, all right? You've got to be ready for what your partners offer. You've got to accept, and you've got to take that to the next level. And you could almost even call it a story that you're building. Make sense? All right, so let's start. Loosen up. All right, start us off for us, Jared. Start us off.
Yep.
Zip.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Zip, zap.
Is that a diagonal? Is this
So what happened?
He's zapped to someone across the circle. He needs to zoom if he's going to go across
Yeah.
the circle. Yes. Okay.
Are you in the game too?
No, I don't want to be in the game. All right, and let's remember use some physicality in this exercise. Good engagement. All right, start us off, John. Zip.
Zip.
Yeah.
Zip.
Yeah.
Zip. Zip. Zoom. Zip. Zap. Zap. No. Zip. Can I be zapped back to you? No.
What happened? She zapped back to you?
But I don't know why I zapped after the zoom.
It was going this way. I zapped.
No, but you gotta zoom. You gotta zap. You gotta zoom to you.
No, I wouldn't zoom after I got zoomed.
No, you got zoomed, but you zapped after you
No,
got zoomed.
she didn't. I didn't.
He zoomed you.
She zoomed.
Yeah, so you zip or zap after zoom.
Yeah, if you get zoomed, you have to zip one way or
She
the other.
didn't get zoomed. No, she zoomed me.
Yeah, you have to zip after zoom. You can't zap after zoom.
Oh, okay.
Start us off, Vanessa.
Alright. Zip. 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 Zip.
Yep.
Zip. 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 Zip.
Zip. Zap.
Yeah.
Zip.
Zip. Zoom.
Zoom. You did zoom again. Like, can you do for zoom?
Oh yeah, no, you
Yeah,
can zoom
yeah,
back.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, here, let me back in the circle. All right, look at some engagement. All right, look at the way Levy is positioned. He's like ready to play football. All right, ready to like do some sort of action sport. All right, let's be ready to offer and accept and build some sort of funny story.
Zap.
Yeah.
Zip.
Okay. Yeah. So you have to if you're gonna zap and change direction, you have to zap. Zip is going in the same direction. All right,
Could you
start
zap
zap.
after you being zapped?
Yes.
You could zap.
Actually, no, you can't because then it would be zap, 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 zap.
You cannot do 2 zaps consecutively and zooms consecutively.
Yes. All right, start us off second.
Zip.
Zip.
Zip. Zap.
Yeah.
Zip.
Zoom.
Zip.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Zip. Okay. Go for it.
Zip.
Zip.
Zip. Zoom. Ah. I
No,
had
that's
to
fine.
That's it.
Yeah.
Zip. Zip.
Zip.
Zoom.
Zip.
Zip. Zip.
Zap.
Zip. Zip.
Zip. Zip.
Zip. Zoom.
Zip.
Zip, good, all right, good. So it takes a lot of focus, all right, to think about what am I gonna do and be clear about who you're giving the Zoom to. Be clear about what you're communicating. Does that make sense now? All right, start us off now.
Zip.
Zip.
Bend in the knee there.
Zip.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Zap.
Zip.
Zap.
Zip.
Zap. Zip. Zip. Zip.
Zip. Zip. Zoom.
Zip.
Zip.
Zap.
Yeah, got it right. Casey, good Zoom.
Zoom. Oh, zip. Sorry.
We did pretty. That's pretty good.
Zip. 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 Zoom.
Zip. Zip. Zip.
Yeah.
Zip. Zoom.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. All right. So we remember how to play the game. All right, we're not going to do an elimination round, but let's just see how long we can keep it going without anyone making a mistake. All right, the stakes are high. We don't want any mistakes here. So whenever we're ready, engaged, ready to offer,
All the
accept.
zip.
Stand up.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Zip.
Zip. Zip.
Zip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Zip. Zip. Zip.
Zap.
Zip. Zip. Ah. Sure, zap.
All right, one more time for this. All right, this is it. Go. Start us off.
Okay. Zip. Zip.
Zip. Zip. Zoom. Zip.
Zap.
Yeah.
Zip. Zip.
Zip.
Zap.
Zip.
Zip. Zip. Zap. Zip.
Zip. Zoom.
Zip.
Zip. Zip. Zip. Zip. Zip. Zap.
Okay, all right, give yourselves a hand. You see, we're doing some offering and accepting there, and we're really paying attention to what's going on. And you had to focus, right? Focus on your scene partners. Good. Remember that play ball exercise where we picked up an imaginary ball and we threw it around the circle? All right, let's do that a little bit. But first, which of those three components are contained in this exercise in terms of the offer, accept, build, to store?
All three.
Yeah, all three. Tell me about each of them.
I mean, if you are offering, you're throwing the ball. If you're accepting, you're catching the ball. And depending on how you catch the ball, tells the story.
Yes, tell me more about the offer, though. You're saying I'm just throwing you a ball, that's the offer? Or is there more contained in my offer?
I think it's more contained in continuity or consistency by catching and throwing the same size ball.
That's what I'm going for. The same size ball. So if I give you a really small ball, that's an offer. All right, if I give you a really big ball, I'm offering. I'm like, this is a really big ball, or this is a really heavy ball. That's my offer. All right, and you want to accept that offer by catching the same ball that I throw. All right, start us off, Colin. Pick up a ball and let's throw it around. Ooh. Yeah. There we go. Here we go. There we go. There it is. All right, two people made the accepting. Oh, good accepting. Good. Oh, God. Right in the face. My God. All right, good. Oh, okay. All right, good. Give yourselves a hand. Excellent. What am I gonna do next?
I'm confused. How did the ball change from heavy to light?
Well,
How they change from small to large.
No, I blew it up.
You
That-
blow it up. Yeah. But the weight shouldn't change. We need to blow it up.
well, as long if you offer a heavy ball, you can have whatever explanation you want. Just the point is you're clearly offering that this is a heavy ball. But to your point, there should be some reason, like blowing it up. I mean, how How did anyone deal with that story aspect of making the ball heavier? Is there anyone who did anything with that? Maybe it just became heavier and was kind of magic and we took it for magic?
Yeah.
I guess that was okay. I mean, they seemed to work with the theme of our story. So I'm okay with that. Okay, this next one is called knife toss. You have to very carefully pay attention as we toss a couple imaginary knives back and forth at each other. So one person is going to start by tossing a knife. The person they toss it to is going to catch it. When you catch it with both hands and say, ha! All right, so I'm going to throw a knife at Vanessa.
Ha.
Yeah. Ha. Okay, and then you're going to take that knife and you're going to throw it to someone else. And they're going to catch it with both hands and say, ha. Okay. Careful with that.
Ha. Ha. I feel like you should spread out. Ha.
Good. I'm going to add another knife. Keep that knife going, Helen. I'm going to add another knife.
Ha.
Oh! All right.
Jerry, I just told you. You have enough.
Careful with that.
Ha. How many on?
There's 3 knives.
Ha. Oh. Ha.
Oh, got 2 knives. Got 2 knives. All right, good. You're still there. Excellent. Similar required level of concentration for that. This next exercise we're going to do, we'll stay in our circle. It's called mind meld. We want to think about connecting with partners, think about being on the same page. And this is just a really fun exercise in general. How it works is we're going to start by essentially passing an idea around, and we want to try to come together and create the same idea. So Jerry and I, on the count of 3, are going to say a word, and we hope that it's the same word. All right? Make sense?
Yeah.
All right? Now, it probably is not going to be the same word the first time, but we're going to think about those 2 words, and we're going to keep going around the circle. Then Jerry and Frank are going to go, and they're going to think about how were those 2 words related? What could I say that would be the logical next step? What would be the one word that this person is going to say? All right, and how logistically it works, when you're ready with your word, you put your hands up like this, and when you see us with our hands up, the rest of the circle will go 1, 2, 3, go. And then when you say go, we'll say our word. Does that make sense? Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
You ready? When you're ready, just put your hands up, and the rest of the circle go.
1, 2, 3.
Glasses. Okay, so glasses and 2. Now, you can't say the same word. All right, so you and Frank are going to do, when you're ready, put your hands up and we'll go 1, 2, 3, go.
This is brain of words. Like, yeah.
Glasses and 2. Well, let's see what we come up with.
She was in what?
Let's go. Just go. When you're ready with your word, put your hands up. 1,
2,
2, 3,
go.
Black. 3.
All right, black 3. We got glasses 2, black 3. All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
4.
White.
Oh.
4 white. Okay.
What?
Okay. Good. So we've got some themes developing. We're not quite at the same person doing the same theme, but we'll see if we can get there. All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
Numbers.
And actually, let's make a correction. So 1, 2, 3. Don't say anything. And then we get to 1, 2, 3, say the word, so we can hear the person say it. All right, and what were the words?
5.
Numbers.
5? 5 and numbers, okay. All right, so when you're ready, hands up. 1, 2, 3.
6.
Mess.
6 mess.
1, 2, 3.
Calculator.
What?
Square.
I would calculate.
Calculator.
Calculator.
Calculator square? Okay, calculator square, okay. Yang and Priya. 1, 2, 3.
Wrong.
Weather.
What were the words?
I said wrong.
I said weather. What was your word?
Round, weather?
Round or weather?
Round weather, okay, okay.
Did you say round?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Priya. No, I said school and she said school.
1, 2, 3.
Girls.
Classroom.
Girls' bathroom, okay.
You say bathroom?
Yeah.
Classroom.
Oh,
Classroom.
girls, classroom.
And girls.
Alright. So what sort of topic are we zeroing in on? What would be one word that might sum up where we're at right now with those 2 words?
School.
Okay, you can't say school. And you can't repeat anything that's been said so far. When you're ready with your words, go ahead and put your hands up. 1, 2, 3.
Boys.
Boys what?
Alumni.
A boys alumni, okay, good. One, 2, 3.
Rutgers.
Sorry, networking.
What did you say?
Rutgers.
Rutgers networking, okay,
Yeah.
good.
1,
2, 3.
Program, job search.
Program job search, okay. 1, 2, 3. Diploma. Oh, academy.
What was yours, Justin?
Academy.
Diploma, academy, okay.
1, 2, 3.
College.
What?
College textbook.
One, two, three.
Book.
Blackboard.
Blackboard and book.
Book and blackboard?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we're getting there, kind of, maybe, those could have possibly been the same. 1, 2, 3.
Graduate, eraser.
Graduate eraser, okay. One, 2, 3.
Transcript. Transcript.
What did they say?
Transcript.
Transfer and professional. Okay. Transcript and professional.
One, two, three.
Career.
Professor career, okay. Yeah, what one word would sum up those 2? Professor career. One, 2, 3.
Helpful.
Dean and what?
Helpful.
Helpful, okay. Helpful dean. The helpful dean. One, 2, 3.
Publication.
You,
Publication.
complication and
Publication.
publication and
Useless.
useless.
Useful.
Useless? Okay. Alright, so the helpful dean went to useless, okay. Useless publication. I feel like we may be onto something. Useless publication is where we're at with our topic. How can we sum that up in one word? 1, 2, 3.
Business.
Lawsuit business. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Enron.
Classroom one?
Enron.
Enron.
Enron, okay.
What's yours again?
Classroom Enron.
One.
1, 2, 3.
Ethics. Chair.
Ethics what?
Chair.
Ethics chairs. Okay. Ethics chairs.
Cheers.
Oh, one more.
Yeah, one more. Just get an idea, go with it. You know, if it doesn't work, then we'll just keep going. We're fun.
Forgot my word.
Ethics chairs. One, two, three.
Morals.
Company.
Morals company. Okay, nice. Yeah, if you're ready, just put your hands up. 1, 2, 3.
Integrity. Integrity.
Organization integrity. Organization integrity. What's the one topic we're on now? 1, 2, 3.
Mission.
Charity mission.
Change.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Salvation.
Salvation. Philanthropy.
One, two, three.
Goodwill. Goodwill, responsibility.
I thought you guys were gonna go with army.
Yeah, I actually thought the same thing.
I thought you were smart.
That's our salvation.
One, two, three.
Citizen. Donate, citizen. That was a good one. I should have thought of donate.
One, two, three.
Money.
What?
Charity money. And I think we had already said, technically we had already said charity.
Can you repeat words?
Can I repeat words?
Can you do that again?
Let's go on. Charity money.
Charity and money?
Yep, charity and money.
I can't remember what was said.
Charity.
Charity
like,
money.
Oh.
Yeah, well, the important ones are charity and money. The other ones can inform us a little bit,
Okay.
but charity and money, I think, is the topic.
No, she's trying, what she's trying to say. That's-
Oh, got it. Right. If you make a mistake, in something that we've already said before. But the chances of that being the mind meld are gonna be low, because the other person is probably gonna remember that that word's already been said, so.
One, two, three.
Subsidy.
Church what?
Subsidy.
Church subsidy, okay. I have an idea. It always makes it harder on the person whose turn it is. When someone else says, ooh. Church subsidy. One, two, three.
Foundations.
Foundation taxes. Yes. Okay. The one I thought it was still in play. Foundation taxes.
Mommy, I saw a big, you remember Judy?
Foundation taxes. Whenever you're ready, just if you're ready, Win-Win, just put your hands up.
One,
two,
two,
three.
three.
Hot.
CFO and what?
Hot.
Hot. Hot, H-O-T? Okay. CFO and hot, the hot CFO. One, two, three.
Office. Did you say
Audit?
Office audit. Office audit. Okay. All right. One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
Global.
Fraudulent.
Fraudulent.
Global.
Global fraudulent. Okay. One, two, three.
Deloitte.
Or Deloitte. All right, you guys wanna keep going?
No, yeah, 'cause I'm gonna wait
Okay.
to solve this.
Okay. All right, I'm up for keep going. Get this done. We can do it.
Just pay attention.
Okay. Good. One, two, three.
Client.
Bailout client.
Okay, ready? What do you want?
One, two, three.
Internal.
Internal what?
Government.
Internal government. Okay. Internal government. One, two, three.
Revenue.
Tax.
Revenue tax. Okay. Revenue tax.
Yeah, is that tax?
Tax has already been said.
That's fine. Revenue tax. One, two, three.
Income.
Scams. Income scams. Okay. Take your time, take your time. Income scan.
Shot myself in the foot.
Not that it work.
What was your
You
question?
got it? You
Yeah, I
got it?
actually followed, I was like, service, come on, somebody.
Ooh, oh, I didn't see it, good. Alright, where are we at? We're at income scams. Okay. Income scams.
Well, we already have fraudulent things, so fraud is out, I guess.
I guess since you just said fraud. I guess if you fraud, I would have gone, I would have accepted fraud. We've already said fraudulent, I would say fraud is different. But I would have said fraud just then. Income scams, can't say fraud or fraudulent. 1, 2, 3.
Dishonest.
One, two, three.
Evasion. Evasion and cheating.
No, evasion. Yeah.
One,
2, 3.
Crime.
Oh.
Crime, Switzerland.
Okay, guys. Hold on. Crime in Switzerland.
One,
2,
2,
3.
3. Tax evasion sentence.
Tax haven.
Tax haven sentence. One, 2, 3.
Judge.
Josh and what?
Jail.
Judge in jail.
Okay.
Okay. Judge in jail. One, 2, 3.
Lawyer.
Lawyer, court.
Yeah.
Okay. One, 2, 3.
Breathing.
Theft in prison.
Breathing.
Theft in prison? Okay. Theft? Death, like die? Okay, die in prison. Death in prison.
So it's over.
What's that?
I think it's over.
No, I have one more.
There's a good one.
Death
I
in
have
prison.
one more.
There's tons of legal terms.
Yes.
Death in prison. One, 2, 3.
Appeal.
Appeal and what?
Family.
Family? Okay. All right, let's try one more round. See if we can get back to Yang and solve this.
1,
2, 3.
Red hearing.
Sentence.
Red-
Red hearing.
Red herring in sentence? Okay.
What was that?
Red
Red herring is like, what is a red herring? It's,
Like review the case.
It's a distraction.
yeah, it's a distraction that's not real, that's not the real problem, is that it? Is that a red herring? Like, that's a red, smoke screen, exactly. Red herring is like smoke screen.
And what was your word?
Sentence.
Red herring.
Smoke screen sentence.
One,
2,
2,
3.
Unfair.
Unfair jury.
Unfair and jury.
Unfair jury.
Jury. The people to decide. was unfair.
One, two, three.
Law.
Acquittal law?
Law.
Okay. Acquittal law.
Okay, let's
Okay.
go.
Acquittal law.
Just do any word. Trust me.
Acquittal law.
One,
two, three.
Federal.
No. Regulation.
Okay,
Federal regulation.
ready? Let's go. Any word. One,
Two, three.
Bureau.
State.
Okay, bureau and stay.
State.
Stay,
Come on,
stay.
guys.
Alright, now, yeah, alright.
Now let's see.
Alright, okay, fine, go. Go do whatever, it's your turn.
Got it.
We got bureau and state. One, two, three.
Criminal Confederacy.
Criminal confederacy. Confederacy.
Confederacy.
Okay, criminal confederacy. Oh, sorry, yeah. One, two, three.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Rebel. Rebel conspiracy.
One, two, three.
South.
What?
South. Treason. South. Treason. South. Treason.
Sounds like the election.
South, well, south, like the south part of the country.
Okay.
South and treason.
One, two, three.
Civil.
Civil and north.
Good one here.
Oh, that's a good one.
Civil and north.
Come on, guys. The history of the US. One, two, three.
West.
Union.
You got it.
Union and
West.
west?
Okay, guys.
Okay,
Pay attention.
okay,
Pay attention to the pattern.
yeah,
Not
west.
this. Not.
Only one is
But it
right.
was interesting, west, like Frank just thought we were doing different directions.
Yeah.
But so interpreting the meaning of what your scene partners are doing is important.
Yeah.
And also another good takeaway from this is you're like engaged in it. You're like, oh, but do this and think of this funny idea that will make the scene interesting, kind of thing. All right, so we've got, let's 1, 2, 3 till we get to Yang. See if we can get it. So we're at West and what?
Union.
West and Union. Okay. One, two, three.
East.
East and East and what? California. East California. Okay, East California.
There's an answer to this one also.
Yeah.
East California. One, two, three.
Vegas.
Vegas, water,
Why? Why? The drinker.
Water.
Or the-
Wine.
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 Vegas
Oh,
wine.
East California, there's wine. Yeah, so wine and Vegas. Wine and Vegas. When have you ever been to Vegas? One, two, three.
Casino.
Party casino. All right. All right. Party casino. One, two, three.
Trump.
Trump.
Trump and travel.
Travel.
Yeah.
Trump and travel. Okay. All right. Last one.
Oh, I
Good. Travel.
Come on, guys. This could be done.
One, two, three.
Airlines.
Was it say debate?
What is
Base.
it?
I said debate.
Debate. Oh, I said airlines.
Debate. All right. Good. 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 Give yourself. All right. I think that was fun, and there were some valuable takeaways. You're engaged. You're trying to figure out what your partner might be thinking. You're trying to figure out what sort of story is being created. The point I brought up with Frank, are you talking about directions? Are you talking about a plot that means, or what that actually means? Yeah, and as you're watching, you're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I think you'll experience that same thing when you watch improv scenes. Like, I know a great way you can take the scene. It gets that creativity flowing. So even though we didn't quite melt the minds, I think that was a useful exercise. Great, so the next exercise we're going to do is called No, Yes But, Yes And. We are going to pair up, we're going to roam around a little bit, get the blood flowing. And when I say so, when I give you the cue, you're going to pick a partner nearest to you. And with that partner, you are going to plan a party. And I'm going to tell you what kind of party. I might say a birthday party, I might say a bachelor party, I'll just give you the information. And then you are going to plan this party with your partner. And you're going to take turns making suggestions about what this party will entail. Now, it's going to work, we're going to do it 3 times. The first time, when you make a suggestion, your partner is going to respond with no. Alright, so I'm going to make a suggestion to Vanessa, she's going to respond with no, and then she's going to make a suggestion. And I'm going to respond with no, and then I'm going to make a suggestion. And then she's going to respond to my suggestion with no. And then I'm going to make a suggestion. And we're going to do that 4 or 5 times. Alright? And then we will change it up. We're going to have that first initial response be a little bit different, and we're going to see how that helps or hurts our party planning. Okay? Alright, so good, you've been standing a while, let's walk around here in our little space for a minute.
Basically, stand next to who you want to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, who you might want to plan a party with. Alright, so go ahead and gravitate to the person nearest to you. And does everyone have a partner?
Yes.
Everyone has a partner? Alright, Eric and I will be partners. Alright, let's plan your best friend's birthday party. And one person will start, and the person who hears their suggestion will start with no and have their own suggestion. So let's plan your best friend's birthday party with those parameters. Go. So let's have a bunch of balloons.
No, I don't think my friend like balloons, so I think he likes soccer, so maybe we can invite some friends to come and watch some soccer.
Yeah, I don't think we'd be into watching soccer at this party. Why don't we get like some poker dealers and have kind of a casino night type thing?
Well, how about
It's very difficult for people to join our casino game, I think. So I suggest we invite some friends to see some